Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Resident Evil 6 professional difficulty video walkthrough. This is the Leon campaign. And how many of your folks were kind of worried about this game when it didn't say Resident Evil 6 at the very beginning when you press start? 'Cause I don't know about your boys, but I was a little bit worried, because that is what Resident Evil is to me. And I've been playing these games for a very long time, so if it doesn't say the good old Resident Evil when you press start, shit, something's not right. But having played this game for quite a large amount of time, and enough time to know that that is the least of its worries, because this game has some serious issues, people. And this is the first real time that you control in any kind of, action sequence or sequence where you have to do something other than run around, and thus that's why we've crossfaded directly to it instead of showing you some of the more intimidating moments where you're running around ballrooms and things with the lights off and all that good stuff. But yeah, this is Resident Evil 6, guys. This is it. This is the game that a lot of people have been waiting for since the last one came out, for the co-op experience that these games provide in their unique twist on it. And I didn't really realise how much Dead Space had, taken all the feelings I had for Resident Evil and just, fermented them and made me love it even more. Obviously this is being directed on Dead Space right now, so when I come back to Resident Evil, it's kind of that novelty case of, I remember when I used to really like these games. I remember when these games used to be really important and matter, and this game is definitely not going to help anybody who has a bad opinion of Resident Evil. It might help some people that don't like the scariness of the games, because it's not scary at all. A couple of moments early on make you think it's going to be quite tense and quite atmospheric, but it all becomes a little bit too formulaic pretty quickly. But as you can see from the incompetent AI, this is going to be a solo walkthrough, because everybody's been requesting it, saying that co-op wouldn't help the most people. So here we are in the, I believe it's some kind of college campus or something along those lines in Tall Oaks. I'm going to be picking up everything that I see, but I'm not necessarily going to be going crazy into finding everything. So if I do miss ammo, or if I miss something that you think's important, please don't try to point it out too much, because I'm not going to be doing a lot of shooting in this game if I can help it. And you may think that sounds kind of crazy, but if you played Resident Evil 4, you will have got pretty good, if you played it for any large amount of time, at shooting the zombies' kneecaps, making them flinch, and then doing the quick time prompt to knock them over, to control groups, to destroy large enemies. This game does have that mechanic, but it doesn't work as well, because the zombies seem to just walk through your bullets. They don't seem to flinch at all at times, and the only way I can guarantee a flinch is right there. And if you don't know what I did the quick shot technique, which is when you press both triggers at the same time, Leon will automatically aim the closest enemy and he'll shoot a bullet at them, and it makes them flinch. Just like that. It does come at a price though, guys, because it does take off some of your stamina, because this game utilises a stamina bar, much like Dark Souls. Only the difference being on this game is it works really differently. So if you can see at the bottom right near the HUD where my life is, you'll notice something's coming back on it, something's regenerating, and those cubes or those squares, or they're not even squares, they're really rectangles, aren't they? They look like batteries or something, or shotgun shells. They are my stamina bars. And if I leave some intact from kicking and what have you and doing the quick shot, it will recover pretty well. If I blow my load, so to speak, and I use all of them, you'll see a big red bar which takes significantly longer to mend. And that right there, guys, to avoid what just happened to me, there's a quick time event where you counter that zombie, and I completely forgot about it, because when I was recording this I was watching Dreaded Cone stream. So, you go to a door, you open it, because it takes a while to open the door, you look to the stream on your laptop, then when you look back to the screen, you're getting raped, and this is professional, so that one grab, even though he didn't get a chance to bite me, took that much damage off, which is one thing I don't like about this game, but I can't remember if it was in the older games where when you got grabbed, if it did constant damage to you regardless of if you were being bitten. I don't think it did. My memory tells me that if you shook them off before they bit you, you didn't take damage. This game doesn't work that way, and I hate it. And that is not even one of the biggest flaws of this game, because some of the mechanics that we're going to be bumping into, especially on a solo guide with the AI, are absolutely preposterous. Be careful down here, there's two of them. And the one on the ground is one of the crazy layers, the ones that lay on the floor. And one of the biggest issues I have with this game is you are flimsy as shit, in so much that any zombie in any animation frame can interrupt what you're doing. You could be there with double chainsaws doing a drop kick with, you know, Chuck Norris for shoes, and they will still immediately get you out of whatever you're doing and bite you. And it's really unfair, and it makes you feel almost as if, you know, you're not lethal, you're not capable of dealing with these zombies. And one cool thing about starting on professional, which me and Aiden did when we played, is we learned how to handle the zombies pretty quickly, because if you don't, you just get yourself killed. And it all leads into one thing that I hate about this game, and one thing that I hate about this mechanic in general. Whenever there is a specific, you know, trigger that needs a quick time event, a la the executions in Gears of War, there has to be a definitive state on when they are activated. Because on this game, you can go behind somebody, you'll get the prompt, and when you do the kick, he just does the normal kick. He doesn't do the backbreaker, he doesn't do the neck snap, he doesn't do the fucking, you know, the good moves. He does these stupid flimsy kicks that don't do anything, and while you're doing them, you can be bit. And it just becomes this case of, why the fuck does he not do the lethal moves like this right here? The stomp. Sometimes when they're on the ground, if you've done enough damage, the head will pop and they'll die. Sometimes you can stab them with your foot in the lower back about 5 times and they're still laying there as if you're giving them acupuncture. You just don't feel powerful anymore in this game, and your bullets feel useless because the zombies don't even fucking flinch. When you get a shotgun, they don't even flinch from that, and like, there's so much stuff that, just, my goodness. A lot of my main problems with this game are mechanical, but the other half are pretty much, you know, because I've played the older games and because I have reverence for those older games. And this is not a Resident Evil game, guys. It just isn't. It doesn't have any of the things that made it great. In fact, this even goes as far as to take steps backwards, so much so that there are parts of this game that feel lesser Resident Evil 4, which was the Resi that revitalized the series. It was the one that did things different, that introduced new concepts that made the game even more fun. Like, this is not a good Resident Evil game. It's not a bad game as far as just a standard game. If it wasn't a Resident Evil, people would probably be praising it, but there's a hell of a lot that comes with the name, and this game definitely does not. It's not even as good as 5, and 5 wasn't that good. Like, I loved all the early ones. I did. I loved 1, I loved 2, I loved 3 was okay. I didn't really play it all that much because that was at the time when, you know, I wasn't that into video games when 3 was kicking up about. I went through a period where I kind of went off them and I was too busy, you know, playing football and shit. But 4, amazing. 0 on the GameCube, amazing. Just so many great games. And I don't know, 5 was such a step down from 4, and then this is such a step down from either one of those games. But this is the first challenging area of the game, because there's a lot of zombies. There's a couple of fire extinguishers in this corridor that will definitely help you stun them and kill the zombies. I used the incendiary grenades because there's no real need for them early on, except for these mob moments. And because I've been kicking a lot of dudes, I've saved quite a lot of ammo. Whenever there is a break in the action, you want to run and pick up as much as you can. If you're wondering why Leon's doing that little trip, it's because I'm tripping over a body. He does it a lot. It's very frustrating, but it's something they decided to put in the game. That right there is pretty cool. Whenever you stun a zombie that has a unique weapon, when you press the trigger and you get the actual, you know, execution command, he will do a context-sensitive animation where he pulls or uses their weapon against them, which I really like, and it's a fantastic idea. I don't think there's enough of them, but that's me just being picky. But Just make sure you pick up as much as you can in this corridor before it ends, because this will cut directly to a cutscene that leads you into the next room, and you will pretty much lose all the stuff, I believe. But this is really good practice of getting used to not panicking when a lot of zombies are close, because this game throws more zombies at you than any other Resident Evil. And there's a couple of moments like this throughout the game where you do the public assembly-esque, here's a lot of zombies trying to survive for a set period of time. But keep on shooting them, get the checkpoint, and yeah, that is the end of the first video, guys. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and you take care now.